Aishwarya in on this. She represents the Congress party because, the government in power, the Prime Minister who is in office does commission ships. I have attended so many commissionings where, Mr. Antony has commissioned ships, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh has commissioned ships. Today I did not hear Prime Minister Modi say that the BJP is responsible for Vikrant. So one is wondering, Aishwarya, what prompted Jairam Ramesh to say, will the Prime Minister acknowledge collective responsibility? He wasn't taking credit for the ship in the first place.
Good evening, Shiv. I think first and foremost today, what has happened is a momentous occasion for India as a country. I congratulate everybody who has obviously worked on this project over years and almost decades, and also that it is a victory for every single Indian that today we join an elite race of countries to be able to have such large, ginormous, magnanimous creatures of the sea, to be very honest. And it is everybody's victory, and I will not take away from that. And Shiv, even your communication, I think, with Mr. Jairam Ramesh on Twitter also alludes to the same. I think the entire sort of conversation today has veered around, even if it was not a direct mention or jibe or a statement. It was this entire talking about Atmanirbhar as a concept and how we have moved away from reliance, almost alluding to the fact that the previous governments have not done it. Shiv, let me point out two things. The fact that Vikrant exists today is a testament to the continuity of governments, which is not only a credit to the UPA but the NDA itself, one. And second, the fact remains that you cannot take away, almost like saying that today's Navy is the strongest, the biggest, everything that we have, is almost taking away from the years and decades of pride and hard work of the Navy under other successive governments as well. And I think when Mr. Jairam Ramesh spoke about it, I think the very singular fact he wanted to see was, would the Prime Minister be bipartisan enough to say this is successive governments giving this to India and the Navy? And to be very honest, Shiv, I think today is the Navy's day. Today is the day for all Indians to rejoice. And today is the day we can put our hands on our heart and proudly say we are one of the elite countries when it comes to naval superpowers. And I think Jairam Ramesh just asked to see if the Prime Minister would be magnanimous enough to acknowledge where this began from.
The thing is, if that were the case, then, perhaps all governments should actually do that and thank previous governments for their participation in projects. I'm not playing whataboutery, but I'm just saying that I could be wrong, but I don't think I've ever seen a commissioning ceremony where a sitting Prime Minister has named earlier governments. I've attended so many commissionings. I don't think Manmohan Singh, Dr. Manmohan Singh or Mr. Antony has named earlier governments while commissioning, a piece of a weapons platform. But Charu, how would you respond to the Congress party? Okay, unfortunately, we've lost that connection with Charu. We'll try and bring that back right now. Gaurav, Aishwarya makes a point as well. Continuity of governments is very much a reality, especially when it comes to long, sustained projects like the aircraft carrier Vikrant. She says, why shouldn't it be a norm for there to be, collective acknowledgement about successive governments and incumbents being responsible for this kind of thing? It's not happened so far, but that's what she says is the suggestion here, Gaurav.
So, sure, I mean, this is a day to acknowledge India. And the Navy did that. The Navy spoke of how so many states were involved, how so many entities were involved, how organizations across the country were involved in the manufacture of this aircraft carrier, manufacturing this aircraft carrier. So it's not about governments, whether it was a Congress government or a BJP government or an X or a Y government. It's about states, people, everyone coming together to do this. I don't understand, the need even for taking credit or seeking credit in this any which ways. But then since we are a democracy, the opposition must continue to target the government and the government must continue to respond.